Hi, I'm Gary Metivier. World War II would change so much history for the entire world, and right here at home, women's roles would be forever redefined. But what would happen with the actual Rosie the Riveters once the war came to an end? VE Day. Hitler and the Germans defeated. It was victory in Europe. Then, after the atomic bomb was dropped, the Japanese surrendered. The war was over. So what now for the thousands of women like Corinne, who is inspired by a teacher to reach higher and never settle?
And she lit a light in my head. And I've always been grateful to Miss Brown because it was such a wonderful thing for me.
When the war was over, we closed the plant, and all they said was goodbye. And that's all I heard about it.
So here you are making tanks and ships and airplanes. Then after the war, you had to go back into either becoming a teacher or a beautician or just a mom.
Well, when the war ended and the boys came home, we knew that they needed these jobs. So we just left.
Just as quickly as they had appeared, the jobs disappeared for 3.5 million women.
Well, I came home one evening, and there was an old boyfriend's car in front of my residence where I lived, and I knew my fate. And that was it. I went home. But never did I dream, ever, that the minute I stepped on that train to go to California, I would never return. I would never go back to that town or live in Iowa again.
She married a Marine whose mother had worked. He wanted his wife at home, part of the culture at the time that would challenge many of them.
Me finding employment was out of the picture. I was supposed to take care of the children, and he'd take care of finding the job. How
did that sit with you?
Well, I wanted to work and have my own money, my own. I didn't want to ask him for the money.
Family came first, but she would manage to do both after her husband passed away in his 50s.
I worked there 21 years. Retired, and then I moved here.
So your early life prepared you for what was to come?
Yes, yes.
And you knew you could do it on your own?
I always felt, I still do. That's my only kind of rebellion in life.
A determination to show what women could do and show themselves what they were capable of.
It made us feel so proud of ourselves and that we could help in the war effort. Maybe we brought a boy home or one of our boyfriends or our cousin.
And as they aged, the lucky ones would hear words of thanks.
Men who have been on B-24s, you know, as a serviceman, have come up to thank me for building these things because it helped them get back home safe, you know.
And I was talking to the pilot, and I was telling them about working at Boeing's and working on the B-17, and he said, would you like to go up in it? I said, oh gosh, yes, you know, I would love to. And he says, well, I'll take you up for 15 minutes. As I sat there and looked around like this, I thought, did I put that rivet in? Was that one of my planes I worked on? And so when the plane came down and I got out of the plane and everybody was clapping, and I was looking around to see who they were clapping at, I was a little embarrassed, but I felt very proud. But I did have a few young children come up to me and tell me thank you for what you did. And you know, I got goose pimples because it made me feel good that they realized what was happening at that time. It's a wonderful feeling to have, and I'm so glad that I did what I did. We were the first women to go out in the workforce. And now women can do anything if they want to. And we were also the first ones to wear long pants too.
How do you think that part of your life changed your life?
Well, how did it change? I grew up. I was a kid, you know, but I grew up because I had a responsibility and I had a important job.
Using what they learned during wartime about life and themselves to build a future.
Every paycheck, I bought war bonds. Those war bonds bought our plot of land that we built our first home on. And part of the house, probably all of it.
I pray to God it never happens again, ever again, because I'm too old now to go do anything.
But if they called on you, I bet you would still go do something.
I would do whatever I could. I would. Okay?
There is little doubt she and so many others could do it.
All gave some gave all. Let's never forget the veterans who gave so much on the battlefield away from home, and of course those right here in the home front that made sure they had what they needed to win that war. I hope you've enjoyed this Rosie the Riveter series. Help us keep their history and their legacy alive. Share the story and keep watching. I'm Gary Mativier with The Heart of the Story.
We hope you enjoyed this series. Please subscribe and support more like it by supporting our sponsors. Find out why more families are calling Ridgecrest home at ridgecrestvillage.org. And STEAM Team 5, a really cool book series with a focus on STEAM education and fun adventures, challenging stereotypes and inspiring young women to go for their dreams. Available on Amazon and at STEAMteam5.com.